Greetings, Ranger fans! I'm Jake Brody, head of DR Productions and the creator of Database Ranger's Power Reviews. Over the course of nearly 8 years, we have created literally hundreds of hours of Power Rangers content for YouTube. By far, our single most popular video to date has been our half-hour fan film, Power Rangers Grid Defense. If you would like to see an alternate take on adapting Tokume Sentai Go Busters, produced 3 years before Power Rangers Beast Morphers and set in the not-so-distant future of 2019, where a new team of Rangers rise up to defend Omega City, you should absolutely check it out. We also feature short series like the Retro Power Run-Throughs, where we summarize every episode of the first 20 years of the Power Rangers franchise in tweet-sized bits. Jake's Journey, where I chronicle my trip to the 2017 Power Rangers Hollywood premiere, the Ranger Logs, which explore the early episodes of Power Rangers Dino Charge, and Conversations in Context, which look at important real-life issues through the lens of Power Rangers and Tokusatsu. We've also done a number of really fun one-shot videos that may spin off into larger projects later on, like A Deeper Look, which compared the Power Rangers Beast Morphers premiere to other season premieres in the Chip Lynn era. A 90-second history of Power Rangers, which is self-explanatory. Welcome to Hyperforce, a musical summary of the live-streamed Power Rangers tabletop. And most recently, Jake's Takes of an Indeterminate Temperature, where I discuss pressing real-world topics outside of the context of Power Rangers, a series that I definitely hope to revisit in the future. And that's not even getting into our weekly material. That's right, every week my wife MJ and I record our live reactions to the latest episodes of Power Rangers and other tokusatsu. With almost 300 installments and counting, these are by far our most frequent releases. And you are more than welcome to join us for our live stream episodes each Saturday night at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. We'd love to have you. Now, I recognize that's a lot of content to keep track of, and I'm sure that you have questions. But don't worry, we also have periodic channel updates in the form of Jake Says Hi. And if you have any Power Rangers questions that you want answered in 60 seconds or less, definitely check out our classic Ask DB and Ask Dr. K minisode series. Which brings us to our biggest question. Who is Database Ranger? And what is Database Ranger's Power Reviews? Well, let's start with the latter. Power Reviews premiered on this channel on October 13th, 2012, and it is a review series that explores individual episodes of Power Rangers, starting with Power Rangers Samurai and Super Samurai, moving along through Megaforce and Super Megaforce, and taking a look at a ton of different classic episodes along the way. However, it's also a bit more complex than that, because the reviews themselves are presented by characters like Database Ranger and Dr. K, whose lives grow and change across the course of the series, being influenced and informed by the episodes that they're analyzing, until the line between their world and the world of Power Rangers becomes increasingly blurred, and you can no longer really tell where one ends and the other begins. So, who is Database Ranger? Well, wait. What's happening?
I believe that I will take over from here. You see, Database Ranger began as a simple internet reviewer, notable only for his obsession with the Power Rangers franchise, his lack of a social life, and the mysterious existence of his roommate, Dr. K, a character from the very franchise that he had chosen to analyze. His neighbors layered in some further mystery, including the standoffish Guy, the overly friendly Mitch and Marymore Potsner, and the curious K doppelganger, Mayo. For some time, the existence of Dr. K made him question his own sanity, as she perpetually avoided the notice of his neighbors, and he began to realize that even his own past was a mystery to him. However, it wasn't until his effort towards publishing his book suddenly appeared to bear fruit that things really took a turn for the strange. And that is where we really start to get into spoilers. So if you want to find things out for yourself, I suggest you go to this time code here. Time is such a slippery thing, after all. So, shall we proceed? The book deal was a trap, of course, laid by Alphabet Soup, an organization from the same universe as Dr. K, although this particular iteration appeared to be from an alternative timeline. They were interested in conducting experiments in crossing dimensions, and were willing to go to quite some lengths to accomplish those goals. However, they weren't counting on Database Ranger to put up quite so much of a fight, a development that he himself was surprised by. Soon, after some digging around in his mind and a few threats to the space-time continuum, they finally uncovered the truth. The naive Database was in fact the amnesiac Phantom Ranger. And here's where we reach the midpoint of our story, where things get really interesting. Because that is when he met me. Shortly after tending to a series of trans-dimensional tears at Alphabet Soup's facility, he found himself trapped in another world. A world shaped by me, his shadow archetype. With the assistance of Mayo and Guy, Dr. K managed to enable his escape, but, as you might guess, things were still far from simple. Alphabet Soup continued their experiments, and the Phantom and his friends continued their attempts to thwart them, combating the mysterious T-Omega agent that was born through another set of trans-dimensional tears, and even scattering themselves throughout the multiverse for a time. But their greatest betrayal came in the form of Database Ranger himself, infected with the Venjix virus by none other than the Morpotzners. As luck would have it, they had been partners to Alphabet Soup the entire time, manipulating their actions to finally open a portal to my world, and unleashing my army upon Alphabet Soup's facility. And although the Phantom was able to drive back my forces for the time being, and win over the Morpotzners to his side, the damage was already done. One must always plan for contingencies, after all. The portal unleashed a fluctuation in the cross-dimensional continuum, one that threatened their entire reality with a time storm that Dr. K was able to track to a rift in space and time orbiting Earth. The same rift that Alphabet Soup had first used to traverse between universes. After a bit of creative hacking, the Phantom and his allies were able to hijack Alphabet Soup's spacecraft for themselves, and they chose to use their opportunity to come after me. A choice that I am certain that they will come to regret. At this point, I'm certain that they've put many of the pieces together. How the Phantom's former flame Cassie helped forge a new version of Hexagon that left Earth vulnerable to the Venjix infection. How he was unable to stop it before being pulled into the rift and being robbed of his memories. How the rift was once used by Dr. K to rescue her childhood self from Alphabet Soup, creating a whole new reality and inspiring their interdimensional experiments. And of course, they now know that the same child is now in my service, but they still have no idea what is waiting ahead of them. Somehow, I doubt that their rescue mission is going entirely as planned. Now, if you'll excuse me, I have some guests to attend to. But don't worry, you'll be joining them yourselves soon enough.
Whoa, that was weird. Where was I? Anywho, if you want to check out more of Database Ranger's Power Reviews, make sure to tune in on September 18th, 2020 for the big premiere of our 90th episode. I'm sure it's going to be an event to remember. In the meantime, feel free to like, share, and subscribe to our videos, and you're more than welcome to donate to our Patreon. Just full disclosure, the rewards are in serious need of updating, so you should probably just ignore those and only donate if you're really interested in contributing financially. We're also available on Twitter and Facebook, and you can find all of these links below any one of our videos. So, there you have it. Welcome to Database Ranger's Power Reviews, and until next time, farewell, Ranger fans, and let the power protect you.